Bizarre Brain Comics. Hello, my comic book friends, and welcome to Bizarre Brain Comics. I'm Gary, your host, and this is where I like to take a look at some older comics, talk a little bit about the characters and creators, and examine the stories and the art. And this time, we're going to have a look at this issue of The Challengers of the Unknown. Number 63, DC Comics, 1968. Oh, yeah. Some classic stuff here. This was written by Arnold Drake, with pencils by Bob Brown, and inks by Jack Abel. I know Jack Abel best from his time doing Kid Colt Outlaw for Marvel Comics. Of course, then it was Atlas. And then Bob Brown, I know him best for his time as doing Superboy comics in the early 70s. And they worked well together. And then Arnold Drake, he was all over the place at DC back then. And Challengers of the Unknown are a fictional group of non-superpowered adventurers published by DC Comics. And this quartet, they combat paranormal and other fantastical menaces. And they first appeared in DC Showcase number 6 and 57 and were created by Jack Kirby, possibly with either Joe Simon or Dave Wood. And they are the probable prototype for the Fantastic Four from Marvel, because their origins are so similar, except that, of course, the Fantastic Four acquired superpowers. And their origin was, there were four people who survived, I think it was a plane crash, and realized they were living on borrowed time, and they decided to dedicate their lives. Of course, they were all independently wealthy and tops of their respective professions. Fighters, scientists, I can't remember. I can't even remember their names. And they formed this quartet. And then later in the 70s, they became a quintet when they added a woman. Who banded together to fight these bizarre menaces to the world. They were basically non-powered superheroes, and with no secret identities. And this is a fun read. I've never been a big fan of Challengers, but I do enjoy them when I occasionally read them. They work. I've covered I think one issue before, which was actually from the 70s. Had a new framing segment, and then reprinted a story from the 60s. As I can't remember what one that was. So here we are, Challengers of the Unknown, yeah. And this young face being reflected here in this gem. He looks. I saw that. Is this got Superboy? Because he looks just how Bob Brown drew Superboy. So, and it's the world's greatest fear fighters. Oh yeah, this is an ongoing story. It continued from a previous issue, and this continues to a later issue as well. And it was done bi-monthly at this time. And here we have the world's greatest fear fighters, and the villains, the bad guys that they're up against right now are the Legion of the Weird, which features Hordred the Druid, Madoga. You can see Mad Dog in there, just as his Hordred is inspired by Mordred. Hadoga the Witch Doctor, Count Karnak. No, it's not from the Johnny Carson show. Not that Karnak. Mistress Wicker, some kind of witch. And then Kaftu, son of the phoenix, some kind of ancient Egyptian thing. And in the previous issue, their leader Ace had been laid low by some kind of speller or something other, and they got information from, I think it was Ace's mother, Rocky's granny from the Ozarks, and she gave him some tips because she's like a swamp witch or something, and they managed to defeat, because this was a spell from Mistress Wicker, and they managed to defeat her, and in the process she turned into an ooze, but they had a message on the wall that said, "We shall meet again," and Ace is A-OK. Then we open into the, and none shall escape though walking evil. There we go. And this double page spread when Karnak is doing some conjuring, and the ooze, reconstituting the ooze back into Mistress Wicker. It's kind of spooky there. And here they are talking, said, oh, she thanks him for, because she is not a full member of this Legion of Evil. But she's working on it. And they're talking. Said, we'll get them back. How you do that? They know they'll see you coming, but I can change. Here she becomes an old lady, and then she becomes a beautiful young lady with a different face than that one. This one's a beautiful blonde lady. So see, I can do all kinds of stuff. So the others are ranting. We're gonna have. I'll get them with my power, and I'll get them with my power. And says, no, we've got something else. It's going to be Karnak, because Karnak is obviously the boss. It's going to be Kaftu, and he chants his spell, whatever it is, isn't it? And it's good. Tuk Amenan, I call you, and we don't see what that is yet. And then we cut to the challengers in their challengers' lair, wherever the heck that is, and in the gym, working out in the gym. Ace doing his gymnastic stuff, and Rocky, I guess it is, pumping iron, and he's griping that prof, the brains of the outfit, isn't working out. He's reading a book, and he goes, "Oh, I don't need to. I don't need all the muscle. I use my brains instead," and then proceeds to demonstrate that while Rocky tries to out-muscle him, Prof out-brains him until Ace lays him and says, "Knock it off, guy. Hey, where's Carrot Top? I forgot his name." And he's in the control center on the radio. He's talking with his little brother, and I guess his little brother is a teen heartthrob musician, rock star, and he's right after a gig, and he's talking on the radio here, and all the chicks are trying to break in, trying to get him. Then we cut to what that spell brought forth was from the Hall of Mummies in a museum, and it's a particular mummy comes huge and crashing out. And then he comes crashing into the lair of the villains, and he's under the control of what was it, Kaftu said, but he tells him, "Need you to go kill the challengers of the unknowns." That I might be bound to you and you be my master, and I have to be your slave and do what you say, but you cannot force me to by my oath to kill for you. I said, "Oh, that's okay," because boom, he pulls out this gem, which zaps him and says, "Now he's even more under my control, and now go kill him, because if he kills them, it will break the spell that he is under. But now he's even on a double whammy. Meanwhile, the challengers are being heading out because I guess they're just flew into the city at the airport, and the car that's waiting for him in some kind of weirdo futuristic non-realistic car, and it's the car of the guy's kid brother, and he picks him up, and they drive into town. So we've got to come up with some way to this Legion of Evil find them. The best way is to have them find us. So, well, I know how to do that. So he lets the girls catch him. Got the news is right there. The paparazzi and stuff are been following him, and lets the challengers be seen, so they know where he's at, and they send the mummy after him. Smashes into their penthouse apartment or hotel room, then starts clobbering people, knocking them left and right. And here he's got them over a barrel, as it were. Oh my gosh, what's going on? And then Rocky's kid brother, not Rocky, but the other guy, kid brother, he was about to wail in with a chair, but Kaftu is there also, and he zaps him in the face with his ruby, and then Kaftu gets taken down, and the mummy grabs Kaftu and takes off. Meanwhile, we find that blinded the kid. He's like, I'm blind. So they rush him to the hospital. Said, oh yeah, he's blind and he's going to be permanent. But talking to the doctor, I've got a chance. He has one chance. Money is no object. There's one chance. We can got an experimental procedure for an eye transplant, which they can't even do today, and not a complete eye transplant. But it has to be an eye from a close family member who will be a tissue match, which his brother, the redhead guy, is. And here they're showing they're doing the operation, doing the transplant. Everyone waiting anxiously, and here they are in recovery. And sometime later, they're okay. We're going to gradually bring up the lights. Of course, their new eyes are the covered up, but they should be able to see okay. And they're bringing up the lights, and then they see in the window, it's the mummy. He comes crashing in. Oh my gosh! And they have to get the patients out, and the nurse rushes them out on their dolly, and while the challengers assault the mummy, and they're wham wham wham, fight, and they manage to kind of bring him down, but they use like an X-ray machine is zapping all around, and it breaks the gem's spell. So the mummy is only half, has half of his enchantment. They managed to bop him, take him down. Meanwhile, it turns out the nurse was Mistress Wicker, and she pulls out a scalpel. And she's going to take out this guy, and crying for help while they got the mummy subdued, having difficulty holding him. Help! So they let the mummy go help their buddy, and it turns out he's been stabbed, but I'll be okay, but he's been stabbed. But his brother is now gone. Dun dun dun! His brother was kidnapped by Mistress Wicker. But the funny thing is, he's got a link, and anything his brother's eye can see, he can see too. So we're going to know where to go save him. So 2 brothers, 1 set of eyes between them, and one heck of a smashing sequel lies ahead. You can bet your last green stamp. Dun dun dun. Of course, it says the end. That's just the end of this chapter. And that's the end of the book. And I think it was very imaginatively written. I really enjoyed reading this. Like I said, I was never a big Challengers of the Unknown fan, but I do I do enjoy them when I read them. And this was, I think it was very well written. Of course, it's just one segment of a larger storyline, and very well drawn. Uh, um, I think, of course, it's this art style is dated to the Silver Age, of course, but it's better than the stuff from the 50s and the 40s as far as overall storytelling and stuff. Uh, um, it's a good read. Uh, Bob Brown, I think he is he was very, because I forgot I was going to tell you a little bit about Bob Brown. I forgot about that. Yeah, because Bob Brown, from 1915 to 1977, American comic book artist whose career spanned from the 40s to the 70s. He created DC's Space Ranger character, who I've talked about before, with writers Edmund Hamilton and Gardner Fox, and for Mysteries in Space. He also worked on the Avengers and Daredevil for Marvel at DC, the Detective Comics, Superboy, and Tomahawk. And he did Challengers after Kirby from 59 to 68. So this is close to the end of his run on the Challengers. And I think it was after that when he then did work on Superboy. Some short time after that. So I think it's a good story. I think it's well paced, well told. Of course, it can't get away from some of the Silver Age silliness, and hell, well, they even have silliness today. So, but I really enjoyed it. So I want to thank you for joining me. Please like, share, and subscribe. And are you a fan of the Challengers, or any of these creators? Let me know. What era do you like best, or what creators do you like best on the Challengers? Let me know in the comments below. And remember, comics are art.